Hey, I'm at CES 2026. It's actually PepCom, which is a new event. There are lots of, I guess I'd call them sub-events. So if you want to say like GMC is the brand, but Denali is the sub-brand, PepCom is an event that one of many that happens with lots of exhibitors who are at CES. Some of them have their own displays at the floor, some of them don't. So let me show you around because I'm about to leave, but I figure well, what the hell? So it's a random variety. If you're existing to my channel, you know that I like cars. And there are a couple of car-related technologies here that I'm gonna follow up on, but more often there's just random electronics or consumer electronics. In some cases, they are going to be exhibiting at CES, so this is just kind of a preview for the show that officially opens tomorrow. In other cases, they're just, they couldn't afford the whole booth, so I'm just gonna show you what the hell goes on here. Obviously, with new technology, anything AI or robotics is cool. Actually, I know there's a robotics company. Let's go ahead and check them out. So, Lollipop Star, we're just gonna figure out what everybody does. It's music related.
You're hearing it, but the people around.
So they're earbuds. You have home camera systems. There are lots of pets. You know, if you ever watch the movie Her, I think that's going to become one of those movies that is quintessential for new technology. But whether it's human to human or human to artificial human relationships or human to pet relationships, there's a lot of that at CES. So obviously AI is super cool, and it was back this way that there was the robotics company. Sorry. Oh, I didn't even see this robotics company. Don't you want to hit that with a baseball bat? I kind of do. Oh, that's scary. Anyway, let's keep going. There was plenty of food. Works. I talked to these people for a while, so I'll give them a plug. They do, autonomous lawnmowers. They have a 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive model. Really cool stuff. I'll show you one of these. And with their autonomous lawnmowers, I personally mow my lawn. I used to have a lawn service. I have a pretty big lawn. And I also have 3 dogs. So with 3 dogs, it kind of hurts in that inevitably one of these wheels is going to roll through some dog poop. But they actually said they're pretty smart. So, hey, works. They have an optional attachment of brushes to try to clear off the tracks because they know whether it's mud or excrement, you need to do something about that. So good for them. Oh, here we go. Here are the creepy robots. Lots of creepy robots. So tomorrow, this is officially day 0. I think it's day 0. And with the, tomorrow is day 1. I think it's day 1. Yes, it's the public days for CES 2026. And there will be more people checking out robots, and I've seen some press releases come out through my emails where it's like companies are putting out robots that look a little bit too real, for lack of a better term. If there's any social media channels you follow or tech companies, It's like, yeah, either AI wants to be your friend or have sex with you. By the way, just pointing out, if you're new to my channel, bearded Tesla guy. I talked to him for a little bit. Cool guy, and he's having some fun with that robot. So I'll also give a shout out to Patrick and Liv from the Electric Duo, who is also roaming this show. This is a pretty fun event. There are lots of shows. I will talk about something that wasn't at this show, but last night I wasn't able to attend because I had a conflict, but there was a CES event for a preview, and there was a company there, Donut Labs, that just blew up my social media and my AI searches and stuff like that. They are putting out a motorcycle that has all solid state batteries. So last year they came here and they talked about a donut shaped electric motor that had far greater energy or power output per kilowatt or per kilogram, I should say. So energy density of the electric motor. So they said, oh, it's going to be great for motorcycle applications and lots of other applications. And now they're like, oh yeah, we're doing all solid state batteries, not semi-solid state batteries like NIO is doing a semi-solid state batteries. There are other companies in China doing that. They're like, nope, we perfected all solid state batteries, zero liquid electrolyte in them. And I'm like, I hope you're right. I'm cautious with putting out information like this because it is one of those things you can only believe so much before you say, no, that's bullshit. But they're saying they can do all this stuff, and they're saying they're going to release motorcycles in Q1 of this year. That sounds like within the next 90 days, they're going to be putting out motorcycles with all solid state batteries. So if I had $30,000 to burn, I would go ahead and do that. Yeah, this is an interesting company. I didn't stop. It's not right for my channel, but they did have a kind of a leash, if you will, or a collar for your pet, so that if a fire does happen, it helps the first responders to find your animal. That's always a very sad story. I live in a northern climate. There are some people who can't afford a lot, and inevitably they resort to space heaters and stuff like that. And then there are, fires that happen, and they say, yes, the humans got out, but the pets are unaccounted for. So that's definitely a noble cause for owners. I want to say maybe 2 rows over. I came through here before. So yeah, Edge AI for underwear, I guess. There were a number of bird feeders, like AI bird feeders. So here's one. I mean, am I that old to where I'm like, yeah, I think I would like to have a bird feeder. I'm gonna backtrack to the other bird feeder. So I mentioned before there are companies here that are, some of them are, I guess, little heard and they can't afford a booth, but most of them have a presence at CES. Pioneer, so I'm gonna do one thing here. I'm just gonna stop in. I hate to say this, I go through chapsticks like a madman. I don't know, my lips are very sensitive. If I eat hot food, it's not my tongue that burns, it's my lips that burn. And I go through chapstick all the time. Anyway, CES, if I've been going here since the early 2000s, I'm just gonna point it out. In the early 2000s, there was an adult expo part of CES because back then it was like, well, yeah, consumer electronics, that's like the internet. And what do you do on the internet? you put porn on it, I guess, for lack of a better term. So anyway, I've been going for a very long time, and some of the exhibitors, they still can afford a presence, but others can't. Pioneer, I assume they still have a presence on the floor, but CES used to be like, Alpine, Blaupunkt, Pioneer, is it MTX? Gosh, I forget the name of that company. There were companies that just put out huge megawatt amplifiers and speakers. So it was a really cool show for that, but it was also very noisy. Not that it's not noisy here. Hopefully my voice is coming through. My phone, I think I jacked up the audio system on it. Oh, here's another example. This was the one. So this is monitoring your pet, their activity, as well as their location?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You basically captured the main point. So,
Yeah.
we really want them to know where your dog is, what they're doing, and with the AI, ostensibly how your dog's feeling.
I know my wife used to work at a pet store, and the location of the dog for like hunting dogs is a very big thing. But the activity was like, it's like how many steps did they take?
Yeah, something like that. For us, it's more about patterns, I think. It's like we want to establish those baselines so then the AI can kind of detect when the pattern changes, so you'll be the first to know when something's wrong.
Well, I could say I have one dog that's very old, and I'm pretty sure he walks 10 steps a day. I know that's not good, but it's like, hey, for him, that's what he walks outside, he does his business, he comes back in. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So that was Stella AI. And like I said, a lot of these businesses will also transition to their exhibits at CES, and some of them can't, like Kwikset. Kwikset is a great company. I used to work in a hardware store, and like Kwikset or Schlage were kind of the two common households we'd have to cut keys for. I've been wanting to get a digital key, but it's like, maybe not. Anyway, there are a lot of opportunities for modernizing keys. To be honest, what I really want to do, I wanted to recognize when I'm coming home and just unlock the door, because so many times I'm walking into the house with parcels or things I've been shopping for, and then just I would love it if the door would open, because inevitably, if the keys are in my right pocket or keys in my left pocket, I reach into the wrong pocket. It's always it's 100% chance that I'm gonna reach into the wrong pocket. So anyway, I've made my way through here. I'm Mike, the Car Geek. I tend to focus on electric vehicle stuff. I did talk to and do an interview with a EV charging company, Electric Fish. And now, the only other one I think that I'm going to follow up on is a company that does dash cams, which I'm sure if you go online, and you're online right now, if you go online, there's lots of companies that do dash cams, and I was kind of wanting one for my vehicle or for my children's vehicles, because they do a lot of driving, and my wife. Van True, I'm going to follow up with. Interesting, they have a thermal imaging camera in addition to the rear camera and the front camera and the passenger compartment camera. So I'm going to follow up. Where are you guys located? Where's your booth?
West Hall.
Where?
West Hall.
Oh, yeah, West, yeah. So I'm going to stop by and check you guys out. So it's definitely, it's one of those features that, honestly, I just think that given the autonomous driving technologies and the amount of cameras that automakers are putting into their vehicles, they should just say, yeah, 100% of our vehicles, we're going to enable like a passenger compartment recording, a frontal camera, a rear camera. And that way, if you get in an accident or somebody cuts you off or, I don't know, throws garbage out the window, something that you find offensive, you can just go ahead and report them to the authorities if you're a South Park fan. Look at my logo. Anyway, this is Pepcom, not really part of CES 2026, but it is an event that, I'm glad I reached out to. Great if you're a technology company. This is very end of the show, and there are still people buzzing around. I'm not sure what's going to happen at the reported end of the show, whether they're going to kick me out or what, but I'm going to stay here for a while. Thank you for watching, and have a good evening.